Hello, my name is Dr. Stanley Lang, and welcome to this broadcast. This series of broadcasts has been on the idea of stress management and how to heal stress. The question that I'm focusing on today is, what do you do when your family is the source of your stress? What do you do when the family seems to be causing stress, and when ideally you'd be coming to the family as an aid to help you get out of the stress. So I've talked about how the family can be a haven, a safe haven for you when you've been able to invest time in building up relationships in the family. But sometimes there are things that are going on in the family relationship that just are obstacles to you getting over stress. So I'm going to tell you a story, and then we'll maybe explore together what would be a next step to try to get through this stress. And I was talking to a friend recently who is working in a situation that is extremely stressful for her. In fact, there's no question in my mind that it's emotionally destroying her. And you may know other people like that. You probably have even been in circumstances like that yourself. And the question is, she's basically gone to her husband and said, I need to stop working here, or the stress is killing me. And his feeling is that, well, if you stop working, I'll never be able to retire, and we'll never be able to retire because his income isn't enough to be able to put enough what they would consider a nest egg that will allow them to retire. So the dilemma is, though they love each other, he is expecting something of her that is causing her to be tremendously stressed out. And what do you do in a circumstance like that? Well, part of the problem is that there are multiple levels of stress happening here. First of all, is the stress of the situation she's in that she'd love to get out of, because she knows that this is causing a lot of problems in her life, a lot of emotional pain, and she knows it's not the right place for her. So there's that level of stress, and then there's the stress of the disagreement with her spouse about what to do about that, and the spouse's expectation that she just sort of stick it out and change herself so that she can adapt to that position, to that situation, and that creates anger, unforgiveness, and resentment, and that produces another layer of stress. So the focus that I think that one has to have in a situation like this is to work on the more immediate relationship-related stresses, which in this case has to do with what happens to us when we're at odds like this, and the consequence of being at odds is increasing my stress a lot because of what you expect of me. So what she has to do is focus on forgiveness and letting go of the anger and the resentments that are there as a first step. So forgiveness, is, we've talked about before, is releasing the other of what punishment we kind of think they deserve. So in this case, my friend is not too happy with her spouse because he's putting her in this position that's causing her a lot of pain, and that's sort of a daily reason to get upset and angry and hold on to resentment, and that increases her stress level. So we talked about earlier that focusing on love all through the day is the most powerful thing that we can do to decrease the stress in our life, because that becomes the goal, and everything else is secondary goals. So if she's able to, in this circumstance, to focus on loving in spite of the fact that they haven't figured out a way for her to get out of her working in this particular place, if she can focus on love and focus on forgiveness, that opens the door to more creatively together them thinking this through and coming up with some solutions. And until that happens, a lot of times the creativity that we sometimes can bring to a situation, it's walled off because of my anger and resentment. And just, first of all, she's angry at the whole situation that's causing her stress. Then she's angry because her husband isn't agreeing with her stopping working, and he feels the need for her to keep working to help him support the family. And there's only one thing that she can do that frees her from at least some degree of the burden, and that's the freeing herself of her own burden of anger and resentment, and that is to forgive her husband on a regular basis, and if possible to forgive the people that are wounding her at the place where she's working. So my encouragement to you is that when you find yourself in situations where people in the family are contributing to your stress, maybe they are not causing it directly, but there's just some element in it that they're an obstacle to you getting what you think you want. Rather than focusing on that thing I think I want, focus on forgiveness, focus on loving the other person, and that automatically decreases the stress and increases your creativity. So I encourage you to share this idea with others and to subscribe to this channel. Have a great day, and God bless.